Welcome to News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for January 4th, 2021. Though 2020 has caused several delays when it comes to new Disney attractions, this year is sure to be packed full of excitement. D23 posted a list of every Disney attraction that is currently slated to open in 2021, in addition to all the Disney Parks anniversaries we have to look forward to, well, at least the ones they wanted to mention. While we're aware of many of these, it's nice to see some confirmation that some things are going to happen. And while Disneyland Resort is currently closed, Avengers Campus at California Adventure is slated to open this year. It, of course, originally was expected to open in July of 2020 before the pandemic struck. Meanwhile, over at Disneyland Park, we've already seen a sneak peek of the renovated Snow White's Enchanted Wish attraction, which will also open in 2021. Meanwhile, here at Walt Disney World, Epcot's historic transformation will continue, including the opening of Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in the France Pavilion. It was previously also set to open in the summer of 2020. Nights will also get brighter with the addition of the new nighttime extravaganza Harmonious, now officially in 2021, of course, also delayed from last year. Meanwhile, at Disneyland Paris, Disney's Hotel New York, The Art of Marvel will be opening. That was delayed from last year. It's good. It's a reoccurring theme. It'll be the very first hotel dedicated entirely to the celebration of Marvel art, with the largest publicly viewable collection of Marvel artwork in the world. There's also a new Cars attraction coming to Walt Disney Studios Park, where guests will be invited on a trip to discover wacky roadside attractions, as well as local natural wonders, while meeting some fan-favorite Cars characters on Cars Route 66 road trip, which is, by the way, not an entirely new attraction. It's an overlay of the Studio Tram Tour. 2021 will also mark several milestone anniversaries. In October, of course, Walt Disney World is marking its golden 50th anniversary. D23 is celebrating with their gold member gift this year. Meanwhile, California Adventure and the Downtown Disney District will be celebrating their 20th anniversaries beginning this month. We here at WDWNT and Disneyland News Today will be doing some things to celebrate those anniversaries. Shanghai Disneyland will ring in its 5th anniversary in June. It debuted its 5th anniversary logo on New Year's Eve at the park. Hong Kong Disneyland has already started celebrating its 15th anniversary with the debut of the Castle of Magical Dreams, and that will continue into 2021. Notably missing from this list, while let's remember it is not a park operated by the Walt Disney Company, is the 20th anniversary of Tokyo Disney Sea, which is in September. And remember, there is a new nighttime show debuting at the park, at least set to debut at the park for that anniversary. Park hopping has returned to Walt Disney World Resort, albeit a little different than it used to look. Guests can now visit a second park or more beginning at 2 p.m., provided they have visited their initial Park Pass park. Now that we've actually park hopped, here's everything you need to know. And even before park hopper hours began, there were signs at the theme parks with information regarding the new system. For now, park hopper hours are 2 p.m. until park close, but this could change at any time. Make sure to double check each park's hours before attempting to park hop. You can view the posted week's park hopping hours on the Walt Disney World website. Guests wishing to park hop must have a Disney Park Pass reservation for the first theme park they plan to visit that day. That's the one they can visit starting at its opening time. And they must indeed enter that park before being allowed to park hop to another. So we visited the Magic Kingdom on the first day and then headed to our second park in the afternoon. Obviously, bus service began later in the day, and we could park hop on that day to any of the other 3 parks, but they will let you know at Disney Transportation what other parks will be available to park hop to. If you're not park hopping via Disney Transportation, be sure to ask at guest relations at the park you are visiting. Do note this is the first time that park-to-park bus service has been available since the parks reopened in July. To board a park-to-park bus, you must have a valid ticket or pass with park hopper benefits. Other modes of transportation that offer transportation between parks are not checking tickets. So if you do want to take a friendship boat between Hollywood Studios and Epcot, or you're taking the Skyliner between Hollywood Studios and Epcot, things are status quo there. You can watch a video of the entire process of boarding a bus for park hopping right here on our channel. And do keep in mind, once you leave your first park, you may not be guaranteed access back in it again if it reaches capacity. If you're driving and forget to check on capacity before heading out, Toll Plaza cast members at your second park will be able to tell you if the park is at capacity. Just some more useful tips. And a reminder, after 2 o'clock, as long as the parks are at capacity, you can visit as many parks as you like. We, in fact, went to all 4, and one of our reporters actually went to 6 parks in one day on the first day. So it's nice to have it back. It's nice to have the option. It takes a lot of getting used to for us that have been at this since July. So it's weird to be in Hollywood Studios in the morning and be like, what are we going to do for dinner? And then a Skipper Canteen pops up and you're like, oh, we could actually go do that. It takes some adjusting. Got to get used to being able to do that stuff again. Taking over for Josh tomorrow in May as president of the Walt Disney World Resort during the height of the pandemic, Jeff Vail was tasked with navigating one of the few Disney parks worldwide that has reopened in a time of much uncertainty for the tourism industry and remained open at that. Now he's taking time to reflect and set some key benchmark tasks into 2021. Vail, a 30-year cast member who most recently served as the president of Disney Signature Experiences, is responsible for all facets of business for the resort, including its 4 theme parks. 2 water parks, 28 resort hotels, 4 golf courses, ESPN Wide World of Sports, and Disney Springs Entertainment Shopping Dining District. His tenure so far has been rocky, with over 17,000 Walt Disney World cast members furloughed or laid off due to the pandemic. Moving into the new year, Vail and his team must rebuild the Walt Disney World workforce. That is, quote, when business improves, according to the Workers Union. In an interview with the Orlando Business Journal, Vail has outlined some of his benchmarks. Operating the parks and resorts responsibly is one of those, rebuilding businesses from the impact of 2020, preparing for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, and cast members are all his highlights. Walt Disney World has not officially announced exact plans for the 50th anniversary, with the exception of select attractions and experiences that are set to open at some point next year. As was announced last year, Magicbands are no longer provided complimentary to Disney Resort Hotel guests, with arrivals that began January 1st, 2021. For Disney Resort Hotel room entry, theme park entry, and charging purchases to the hotel room with a valid credit card, guests may use a Key to the World card provided at the front desk for free, or you can also use a Magicband from a past visit or purchase a Magicband pre-arrival. On the My Magicbands and Cards section of the My Disney Experience app and website, Magicband pre-arrival purchases are still available under the same former Build-A-Band upgrade. To reflect the changes, you can no longer filter between premium and complimentary bands. You can, however, filter by color or theme. The plain colored Magic Bands that were previously complimentary are now available at a special pre-order price of $5 with a comparable value of $14.99. Disney has stated plans to unveil an innovative new offering in 2021 as part of the My Disney Experience app that will bring the features of a Magic Band to smart devices, building on the app's existing digital key feature for resort hotel room doors. Florida residents can now purchase specially priced Discover Disney tickets. With this amazing offer, you'll be able to purchase a 4-day Discover Disney ticket for $50 per day plus tax, or choose from other specially priced tickets. Discover Disney tickets are valid for admission to 1 theme park per day. Park reservation via the Disney Park Pass system are required. You can also choose a Discover Disney ticket that includes the Park Hopper option. Tickets can be used on the consecutive or non-consecutive days. There's so much that we share, but COVID-19 shouldn't be one of those things, and that's why plexiglass dividers have been tested on boats of It's a Small World at the Magic Kingdom. There's a large section of hard plexiglass installed behind each row. We did notice that these dividers still have gaps along the bottom edge. As on most rides, the dividers have been retrofitted onto existing ride vehicles. Here we see the base of the metal rod that runs along the upper edge of the plexiglass for stability. The extent of damage that will inevitably have to be repaired once these are no longer necessary is still to be seen. A strip of black and white striped caution tape was added to all the edges to ensure guests don't hit them when loading. The transparent screens allow cast members to seat guests in all rows of the boat, which should hopefully reduce wait times, but it will reduce your enjoyment of the attraction, I can tell you that much. It's unclear if this will end up on every boat, but it is likely, as it has happened at other attractions already. You can see what the happiest cruise that ever sailed looks like from behind one of these plexiglass dividers right here on our YouTube channel. Guests can now build their own haunted mansion with a light-up gargoyle figure, now available at Walt Disney World. There's mine. These gargoyles appear in the stretching room of the haunted mansion, not that that's been on this year or last year, lighting the way for foolish mortals passing through. Just like their counterparts in the mansion, these figures have a candle in each hand. The figure comes with a large box lined with styrofoams, can be safely transported. The candles are fake but do light up. They even have faux drips of wax running down them. You can take home your own gargoyle figure for just $80. They're currently available at Memento Mori while supplies last. They are selling out very quickly. While we continue to shop in Epcot's temporary mouse gear, the store's permanent location is under construction. Disney has hit a major milestone in that refurbishment as new windows have been installed. For now, windows are only on one section of the building. Since the building is so open right now, we can see the windows from both sides. They almost completely cover the front of mouse gear. There is a blue X paint on each of the new window panes. Yeah, that'll be removed when construction is complete, obviously. There are some gaps remaining between windows, but steel beams are in place for further installation. These new windows are a major part of Mouse Gear's refurbishment, and they're meant to make the store feel more open. This does kind of go back to the original store and the original feel of most of the Innoventions and Communicore buildings, with that more open feel, with these big open glass windows. They're getting back to that now. Mouse Gear kind of took that away. It's now coming back. So the new Mouse Gear will be a little bit more like a one-floor Centaurium, the old store that used to be there. So we'll keep you posted as further work is done on the new Mouse Gear. In early November, plexiglass row dividers were installed on some boats of Frozen Ever After. Now every boat on the ride has them. The dividers do increase ride capacity, which is necessary given how long the line has been outside for this ride, often stretching all the way into China and beyond at Epcot. This will allow them to load people into every row, but I will say, even worse than Small World, we sat in the back row and we couldn't see anything. If you want to see what we saw from the back row, a full POV video is right here on our YouTube channel. Garden Grill at Epcot is famous for slowly turning and showing off different scenery while you eat. However, this special dining experience has become stationary as the turning mechanism has been broken for over a month now. In story, cast members are telling guests that Chip and Dale messed up the motors. Of course, Chip and Dale are two of the characters that appear and, of course, are known for being mischievous. But this is bad. This is very bad. It's obviously, maybe some people won't care. They just get to see characters. But this is very bad. Like, this is the whole hook of this restaurant is turning and seeing the various scenes of the ride. We actually ate there this weekend, and I will say we had a fantastic experience. I was really kind of surprised. It's not in the past been one of my favorite meals. We were really blown away with how good everything was this weekend. So I do still recommend it. I think it's one of the 2 or 3 best table service meals at Epcot currently. But it is really sad that it's not turning. We lucked out, though. We had a view of the buffaloes from our stationary table, so I didn't really mind. For the 4th day in a row, Rock and Roller Coaster has failed to open at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It is yet to open at all in 2021. The attraction did not open on January 1st due to technical difficulties and has remained closed since then. It's still listed as temporarily closed in My Disney Experience as of 12:32 a.m. today. It's unknown what is wrong with the attraction or when it might reopen. Cirque du Soleil's new Drawn to Life show was slated to open at Disney Springs in 2020, but unfortunately was delayed. In March, Cirque du Soleil also laid off 95% of their employees, and a couple months later, they filed for bankruptcy. Drawn to Life was eventually scheduled for a November opening, but this was canceled with no further updates. Finally, Disney has acknowledged the upcoming show, and while they haven't announced a new opening date, the show is listed on the Disney Parks blog's 21 Ways to Kick Off 2021, which would indicate the show will debut this year. Obviously, things can change, but I feel like they wouldn't just make that announcement without, having thoroughly thought it over and believing that they will debut this year. Gideon's Bakehouse has announced a temporary closure of their Disney Springs locations effective this week. The announcement came on the official Gideon's Bakehouse Instagram account. The new bakery was only open for 11 days, already renowned for their specialty coffees, cakes, and half-pound cookies. Luckily, we had a chance to try this all before they closed. Of course, it was just a soft opening, but we did not really expect them to shut down for some prolonged period. It's unknown when they will reopen at this point, but I don't know, maybe it does give them time to figure things out. They were posting multi-hour lines. They did have, a digital return system in place, but nonetheless, people were waiting a very long time to visit. Ron Dominguez, Disney legend and former executive vice president of attractions, passed away on January 1st, 2021. He was 85. Dominguez, known as Mr. Disneyland, retired from the Walt Disney Company in 1994 after 39 years of service. The news of Dominguez's death was first shared on the Disneyland Alumni Club Facebook page. Born August 10, 1935, Dominguez literally grew up on the property that would become Disneyland. He shared his memories with D23, quote, "Our house was located right about where the entrance to Pirates of the Caribbean and Cafe Orleans are now. The day we moved out in August of 1954, we were walking in ditches and holes. Things were popping up around us because construction had to move ahead. They built Disneyland in a year. Dominguez was hired as a Disneyland ticket taker 4 days before the theme park opened. In a strange twist of fate, Dominguez found that Walt Disney had moved the previous Dominguez family home backstage to serve as administrative offices for the park. In 1957, Dominguez was promoted to assistant supervisor of Frontierland, and in 1962, he was manager of Tomorrowland, eventually moving on to manage the west side of the park. He continued to work his way up the ranks, and in 1974, Dominguez was named vice president of Disneyland and chairman of the park operating committee. Dominguez became executive vice president of Walt Disney Attractions West Coast in 1990. His close relationship with and service within the city of Anaheim are credited with paving the way for Disney California Adventure and the expansion of Disneyland Resort. He was named a Disney legend in 2000. According to the Disneyland Alumni Club Facebook post, Dominguez is survived by his wife of 41 years, Betty. Ron Dominguez is such an important person in the history of specifically Disneyland. The Dominguez family is the first family of Disneyland in many ways. This is a very sad loss, and another loss of someone that worked through those early years of Disneyland, which as time marches on, less and less of those people are sadly going to be with us. So it's sad to see that generation go away, but his work will be fondly remembered for generations to come. While the real-life Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover may not yet have reopened, guests can now buy their own People Mover toy at Walt Disney World. The pullback toy is one blue and gray People Mover car that zooms forward after pulling it backwards. Mickey and Minnie sit in with their arms around each other inside the People Mover. One side says People Mover, though the toy cars come individually, they can connect together to form a train. We found this toy in mouse gear at Epcot for $9.99. We expect it to be in most locations soon. Those doors also pop open, which is super cool. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, The Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next magical trip. The best part, their services are free. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. The Vacationeer, the official travel agency of WDWNT. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, click the bell for notifications. Also make sure to hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. Also this week we have several returning and new shows right here on the channel. We'll have the premiere of Timekeeping, the chronological history of Walt Disney World in celebration of the 50th anniversary. The debut of Tom versus Josh formally will happen tomorrow evening right here on the channel. And on Thursday we have the return of WDW News Tonight at 9 p.m. So make sure you tune in for all of that. If you're subscribed, you'll be able to watch those whenever. And you'll know when they're happening. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Looking for the latest in Disney news on the go? Then download WDWNT the app. From news to videos to park hours and more, WDWNT the app is your one-stop shop for the latest from the Disney world. Available on iPhone and Android, just search for WDWNT in your device's app store.